I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about CJD, which is what my husband Matt passed away from in August. I had never heard of it before we got to the hospital, and the first thing that even alerted to me that it was a thing was they brought in this very big biohazard barrel into his hospital room. And they told me not really to worry about it because they were ruling everything else out. And it was just one of these things that you have to rule out. However, CJD is extremely contagious, only through the spinal fluid, however. But he was getting spinal taps for diagnostics. So it was mostly for the safety of the staff. Because one of the ways you can get it is through contamination with brain fluid. CJD is a prion disease. It basically happens, or the case that my husband had, spontaneously out of nowhere and for absolutely no understandable reason. A protein in his brain misfolded and then caused other proteins to misfold. It basically starts a domino effect that affects cognitive abilities and causes brain damage. One of the only pieces of solace I have about Matt's passing is that it was not painful. And he wasn't super aware by the end of what was happening. So as far as ways to go, it's much harder on the family than it is on the patient, is what it looked like at least. Matt was 43 when he passed from CJD, and that is extremely rare. It is most commonly found in older patients. I still haven't really found another widow on social media, at least, who's sharing their story of a similar aged spouse passing from it. It's usually someone's parent or aunt or older relative. My husband's case was a spontaneous case, meaning they have absolutely no idea why it happens. And I hope in the future we have some more of an idea of either environmental factors or genetic factors or something that can help with diagnostic earlier. Because although it is 100% fatal, it's a fatal diagnosis, usually very quickly and very rapidly within the first year, but honestly, weeks to months. Had we been able to diagnose it sooner, I would have been able to still speak and ask questions to him. We would have been able to get some things figured out before he passed or before he became uncommunicative. I'm not in the emotional space or energy space to be able to do this, but I hope in the future to be able to work with the CJD Foundation to raise awareness. They do walks every year for funding. Right now, I think their funding goal is something like $500,000 maybe. So they can't get funding because it's such a rare disease and it affects so few people. If you have any more questions about CJD, you can go check out the CJD Foundation website or leave your questions in the comments and I'll try my best to answer what the experience was like for him and for me. But CJD looks like a lot of other neurodegenerative diseases. It looked like dementia, it looked like Alzheimer's, it looked like ALS, except it happened extremely rapidly. And it's truly one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard of. No one should have to watch their loved ones go through that. And it's going to take me a really long time to even start unpacking some of the trauma from caretaking my husband in that scenario. But I hope this gave at least a little bit more information to people like me who would never hear of CJD in their whole life, that this exists. And it's really scary. And I hope we eventually know more about it.